Pikachu. Ready, set,
When I started watching Pokémon Concierge, I didn't have a depressed Pikachu on my bingo board. I mean, just look at the guy. Pokémon Concierge isn't like the anime. The show is stop-motion animation by Dwarf Studios, you know, the dudes that made Rilakuma's theme park adventure. Pokémon Concierge debuted on Netflix December 28th, 2023. Much like Rilakuma, the show is cozy, cute, and comforting, but also harrowingly short, with only 4 episodes to its name. Not to mention, each episode only spans from 12 to 16 minutes of actual storytelling. Throughout this limited series, we follow Haru, an adult woman with crippling anxiety.
And who are you?
I'm a concierge here at the Pokémon Resort. My name's Haru. Nice to meet you.
So why does Haru make this life-changing decision to live on an island full of Pokémon?
Last week on Saturday, my boyfriend of 6.5 years broke up with me in a text message.
The Pokémon anime almost always follows the story of a young boy setting out for adventure with an objective to be the very best Pokémon trainer in the world. So, concerning Pokémon Concierge, you're already able to make out heads and tails from the show thanks to our lead protagonist Haru making it obvious this isn't your daddy's Pokémons.
I see what you mean.
Now, I can't lie to you, I stopped watching the Pokémon anime after Ruby and Sapphire concluded with the Hoenn region, and even before then, I'm still not fully healed from the Charizard vs. Blaziken fight. If I could travel back in time to change any one thing, it would 100% be the outcome of that battle. Could there possibly be other characters in the Pokéverse that are just as diverse and as interesting as Haru in Pokémon Concierge? Possibly. But based on my limited knowledge, I'm gonna keep this limited series close to my heart, as it's the only contrast aside from Pokémon Legends Arceus that made me feel something new regarding Pokémon. Haru is a character that represents what could be known as the middle child of generations. Yes, we're looking at you, millennials. As somebody who's about to turn 29 this February, I could definitely relate to Haru.
You can work real hard every day and then suddenly evolve all at once. It's cool, huh? Time for bed.
And while Haru serves an interesting role, I just never really found myself immersed by the character. It was her optimism and blind hope and everything working out that undermined my appreciation of the character and the overall story structure around Pokémon Concierge. Perhaps my own issues regarding anxiety are keeping me from knowing the full truth behind Haru's character. Could I be thinking too critically about a children's television show? Possibly. Regardless of how you feel about my interpretation, we can all agree that Pokémon Concierge retains that childlike wonder that we witnessed in the 90s and early 2000s. The idea of change in Pokémon feels like a foreign concept, but when it works, and Haru proves that to be the case. Her character bridges the gap between millennials and modern-day Pokémon that nobody could have anticipated. Most millennials I know claim to have anxiety, depression, or some other mental illness that they're okay with sharing publicly. These emotions wouldn't have been accepted in your normal household 20 to 30 years ago, which could go on to cause further issues. And you can't fully blame this generation either, as they've experienced a global financial meltdown, recessions, unaffordable housing, a pandemic, and even worse, expensive groceries that make it impossible to buy more packs of Pokemon cards. Millennials are the generation that feel unseen, unheard, but now, all of a sudden, Pokémon Concierge comes out of nowhere and says, hey, it's okay to be anxious, or sad, or even feeling down, and that they're all normal emotions to experience and share and overcome. Haru explores this wonderfully and encourages young viewers to never give up. But I wanted to see this journey of process and recovery be played out by a more reputable source. And who better than Pokemon's mascot himself, Pikachu?
Who's that Pokemon? It's Pikachu! Pikachu!
The fourth and final episode of Pokémon Concierge, Welcome to the Pokémon Resort, focuses its attention towards a shy little Pikachu and its trainer, who wants his Pikachu to be outgoing like all of the other Pikachus in the world.
I mean, Pikachu
Pikachu are always so cute and energetic. At the very least, I wanted to have a louder voice, but no matter how much we train, nothing ever works.
It's clear to me that this Pikachu isn't the one that we all know and love. The smiling face representing the Pokémon Company? It's non-existent when we first meet. Also, this was a lot different from Haru's anxiety attacks. Pikachu was depressed. And it was in that moment, that's when everything about Pokémon Concierge became clear to me. But why is that? Well, did you know that Pokémon is the biggest franchise in the world? It garners more profits than any other independent property out there. So, technically speaking, more households know of Pikachu than they do Mickey Mouse, who is the face of Disney and just recently entered the public domain. There's also a variety of different Pikachu mascots, from Chubby Pikachu to Poke Center Pikachu, and even the anime version of Pikachu. Now let me ask you this, which emotion comes to mind when you think of the red-cheeked mouse with a lightning bolt for a tail? For me, that imagery in my head sparks a bit of joy and happiness. So where exactly is this all leading? Well, imagine associating a huge icon like Pikachu with happy feelings for 25 plus years, and then all of a sudden, that very same icon is wallowing in sadness. Pikachu is that reputable source that I needed to feel more connected with the show of Pokémon Concierge. Suddenly we find ourselves placed in a situation that we can't fix. Pikachu's depression. It contrasts my original notion of the character. It makes me also feel as though the Pokémon Company actually understands me. This nearly 29-year-old man felt like he was 10 years old again watching Pokémon for the very first time. The 4th episode hones in on fixing Pikachu by making it fill a mold it wasn't made for. Even Pikachu's trainer wishes for it to be loud, adventurous, and battle-ready. I admittedly hated on this kid, this bratty little trainer who wouldn't shut up, and it dawned on me, oh yeah, he's just a kid. I wanted him and Haru to accept Pikachu for Pikachu, and that's exactly what they do. By the end of the episode, Haru becomes proud of Pikachu, and Pikachu's trainer becomes more accepting and open to Pikachu's feelings.
That's why, for Pikachu, we don't need to force it into being Pikachu-like. It doesn't really need to make loud noises, and it may not be any good at battles, but Pikachu is still Pikachu, don't you think?
Throughout the episode, Pikachu was unable to speak up, but as soon as their boat set sail for home, Pikachu managed to say thank you and goodbye, loud enough for Haru and Psyduck to hear from the dock. The ending was beautiful, the messages were thought-provoking, the characters were interesting to engage with, and I was taken back by it all.
Huh? Was that the shy little Pikachu?
Pokémon Concierge may not be the best show ever, and many may not agree with my outlook on this show, but I hope it leaves most with a new sense of hope, and that our inner child, especially the one that loved Pokémon, can help us all heal from the battles that we face as adults today. Unfortunately, Netflix has no plans to continue production, which is sad because it looks like a lot of people, including myself, want to see more. So if you haven't seen Pokémon Concierge and are a fan of Pokémon, do yourself a favor and go check this one out. Hit that subscribe button and leave a like on this video. Thanks again, Austin out.